To this Knock Scripture group reflection for the third Sunday of Lent 2024. My name is Tom Brofferty, and the Gospel reader for this reflection is Rita McNamara.
The Gospel according to John, chapter 2, verse 13 to 25. Just before the Jewish Passover, Jesus went up to Jerusalem. And in the temple he found people selling cattle and sheep and pigeons, and the money changers sitting in their counters there. Making a whip out of some cord, he drove them all out of the temple, cattle and sheep as well, scattered the money changers' coins, knocked their tables over, and said to the pigeon sellers, "Take all this out of here and stop turning my Father's house into a market." Then his disciples remembered the words of Scripture, "Zeal for your house will devour me." The Jews intervened and said, "What sign can you show us to justify what you have done?" Jesus answered, "Destroy this sanctuary, and in 3 days I will raise it up." The Jews replied, "It has taken 46 years to build this sanctuary. Are you going to raise it up in 3 days? But he was speaking of the sanctuary that was his body. And when Jesus rose from the dead, his disciples remembered that he had said this, and they believed that scripture and the words he had said. During his stay in Jerusalem for the Passover, many believed in his name when they saw the signs that he had gave. But Jesus knew them all and did not trust himself to them. He never needed evidence about any man. He could tell what a man had in him. The word of the Lord.
Thank you, Rita, again. The Holy Father, Pope Francis, is famous for his metaphors, and he's got a series of metaphors, 11 actually, for Lent, and I think they're well worth pondering, even though we're nearly halfway through Lent. So let's look at them. There's a positive and a negative in each case. Be careful with your words, for once you've said, you can only be forgiven, not forgotten. And always tell the truth, use kind words, keep your promises, giggle and laugh, be positive, love one another, always be grateful. Forgiveness is mandatory. Try new things, be pleased and say thank you, say your prayers and smile. Sadness on one side, and the opposite of sadness is saying thank you. A great lesson there for Lent. And then the Holy Father addresses anger, and the positive alternative to anger is patience. And there's pessimism on the negative side. If you think it's going to rain, well, it will. And on the other side is grow in hope. Each day is an opportunity for new hope. And on the negative side, we have what worries you will control you. On the positive side is trust in God. God can turn any situation into a place of trust. And then I've turned around an image, and I ask you to guess what it says. Your personal engagement. And complaints on the negative. And what's the ponder, the opposite to ponder? So pondering and thinking about things in a positive way. And then on the negative side, you've got pressure. And prayer as an opposite. So the Holy Father says, fast from bitterness and resentment and focus on joy. Fast from selfishness. Stop thinking about me, and me. And focus on compassion. Now here's one, well worth pondering. Grudges. Holding grudges against other people does not make you strong. It actually makes you bitter. And forgiving doesn't make you weak. It gives you freedom. And I love the image of the hands and reconciliation right over all the world. Two opposites here. He says fast from words and be silent. A little bit like ponder. And then the final challenge. If a person lives with criticism, he or she learns to condemn. If a person lives with hostility, he or she learns to fight. If a person lives with ridicule, he or she learns to be shy. If a person lives with shame, he or she learns to feel guilty. If a person lives with tolerance, he or she will be patient. If a person lives with encouragement, she or he learns confidence. If a person lives with praise, she or he learns to appreciate. If a person lives with fairness, she or he learns justice. And if a person lives with security, she or he learns to have faith. And if a person lives with approval, she or he learns to like themselves. And if a person lives with acceptance and friendship, she or he learns to find love in the world. So there are various challenges there for Lent, the remainder of Lent. Enjoy your Lenten journey. And there's still time to ponder these and then walk the Camino of life with love, with wonder, with confidence, in prayer, in silence, in compassion, in hope, with patience, and with oceans of trust, and in thanksgiving. A little more challenge here. I've deliberately forgotten something. Email me if you have the answer. Blessings galore for your Lenten journey.